Hey guys, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about myself. Kind of like a story time kind of thing. If you like this kind of stuff, let me know and I'll keep doing it. Try to. If you don't, I'll just quit. No big deal. But I'll tell you this one. If you like the story and want to hear more stuff, let me know in the comments. Okay. My dad, uh, my dad and mom are both passed away. But my dad was one of 7 children. He had one sister, and the rest of them are boys, of course. And the youngest one, of course, they're all my uncles, but the youngest uncle I had on my dad's side was like a year and a half older than me. And we used to go over there and visit my dad's folks every weekend. Every weekend we'd go over there. It's like I don't know, 20 minute drive, 30-minute drive, something like that, to go visit my grandparents. And as I said, my youngest uncle, was like a year and a half older than me. That guy was mean. He was mean. And I wouldn't be there but a few minutes. We'd be in a fight about something. He was always instigating a fight about something. It didn't have to be anything. Just start fighting. And I'm talking about, fighting, not just wrestling around, fighting. And we stayed into it the whole time, it seemed like. I kept being optimistic, every time I'd go over, I'd think, well, we're going to get along this time. Never happened. We'd always get in several fights before it was time for us to go home, and I always lost. So I remember one time in particular, my dad told me, my uncle and I were doing something, my youngest uncle, and we were doing something. We were sitting there doing something. Anyway, my uncle, my youngest uncle, got a candy bar and was eating it. And it's one of my favorites, like Reese Cups or Hershey bar. Those are my 2 favorites. Anyway, I asked my dad, I said, can I have a candy bar? And he said, no, we're fixing to go home and eat supper. You cannot have a candy bar. I said, okay. Well, my uncle, he come up to me and he said, go ahead and take a bite of this candy bar I have. I won't say nothing. I won't tell your dad. I won't say nothing. I said, I can't. My dad said no, and if I do, I'm going to get a whipping. And my dad didn't hold back the horses on whippings. I just tell you. So my uncle kept on, just take a bite of this candy bar. Come on, I'm not going to say nothing. Come on now. No, I won't. I'm not going to take a bite of that candy bar. He kept eating it, Oh man, this is good. This is really good. And I'm just a little kid. I'm probably like 6, 7 years old. Probably about 6, 5 or 6. And he just kept on and on. Just take one bite and that'll be it. I'll eat the rest of it, but I'll give you a little bit of it. He talked me into it. I took a bite of candy bar. Got that chocolate in my mouth. Had a big old mess going on in there, chewing that candy bar. It was Almond Joy. That's what it was. Almond Joy. And as soon as I took a bite and got a big old mouthful of candy, my uncle ran in there and grabbed my dad and told him I was in there eating candy. So my dad come in the room where I was at. Wouldn't no denying it. I had chocolate all in my mouth. He knew I had disobeyed him. So my dad said, when we get home, you're going to get it. And my uncle, he just died laughing. And, I guess I've always been kind of like naive, gullible. whatever. I should have known better, but I didn't. I've always been like a trusting person until somebody proves me wrong, that, that you're lying to me or whatever. I give everybody benefit of a doubt. So my uncle got a good laugh out of that, finished his candy bar, knowing that I was going to get it when I got home. So sometimes when you know you're going to get it, a whipping or whatever, sometimes on the way home, that can be the longest drive, knowing that you're going to get it when you get home. So it took us, like I said, 20, 30 minutes to get home in the car. I was the only child at the time. I was sitting in the back seat, and I was trying to talk, tell my mom and dad, trying to be, uplifting, trying to, be a good kid, hoping maybe my dad would forget. No, he didn't forget. My dad was a maintenance man, and he had a tool pouch that he carried on his waist, big tool pouch, that, had crescent wrench, screwdrivers, everything in it, anything you could possibly need. Had a big old thick belt, and when he gave you a whipping, he'd get that big belt. So we was in a 4-door 56 Chevy Bel Air, 4-door. My dad got out of that car, my dad and mom, we got back home, lived in an apartment building, and I got out of the car as well, and seen my dad go to the trunk. He opened up that trunk, whoosh, pulled that belt out of that tool pouch. It was a big, thick belt. And boy, when we got in the house, he let me have it. He let me have it. And boy, I cried. But in another way, I get to thinking about this sometimes. Maybe you can understand what I'm fixing to say. But I know I've told y'all this before, but my wife and I read the Bible every night. And, I used to think about, well, I still do, but I used to in my mind think to myself, if I'd have been in Adam and Eve's shoes in the Bible, and Satan was saying, I pictured my uncle being Satan, and I'm Eve, okay? And Satan's my uncle, talking to you, I'll just take one bite, it's not going to bother you, whatever. In my mind, I'm thinking, how could Eve be so dumb to believe a snake, a talking snake? But I'm that dumb. I believed it. I knew my uncle. Still. Anyway, I got a good whipping for that. And you know what? I'm glad I did. Because when my dad said something, by golly, you better listen. Anyway, my uncle and I, we always fought. But anyway, my mom and dad decided several years later, that we were going to move to another state. We moved to Tennessee. And I think I was 10 or 11 years old at the time we moved here. And that last night there, we was telling my dad's parents, my grandparents on my dad's side, telling them goodbye and all that, and blah, 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 telling them, giving hugs and all that other stuff. Well, my uncle and I got in a fight again. I don't know why. He just liked to fight. I guess he wanted to beat me up real good one more time. Now, my grandfather on my dad's side, I'm going to tell you this part. He liked to watch wrestling on TV and boxing, stuff like that, wrestling. He'd sit on the edge of his chair and, you'd think he was in the TV with him, just wrestling around again. It is really kind of funny to watch. But my uncle, as I said, we got in a fight one more time right before we left to move to Tennessee, and You know what? Sometimes, pertaining to me, sometimes when you've had all you can stand, that's all you can stand. So that particular night, he picked the wrong night. He did. He picked the wrong night. He started in on me, and I guess he thought I was going to give up or something, but I didn't. I beat the far out of him. We fought for probably 15 minutes, and my grandfather, who likes wrestling, the whole family was gathered around in the dining room. We were going at it. And my grandfather was rooting for me, not his own son, me, rooting for me. And I beat the far out of him. And that's the last time we ever fought, you know. But, you know, like I said, they've all passed away now. Even my uncle that used to beat me up, he's been gone for years too. But I guess there comes a point in your life, you know, where you've had, you know, all you can stand. Sometimes I've had jobs, you know, my working career, I've had jobs, you know, where I've, you know, just kind of took it and took it and took it. And then one day, you know, I just decided I've had enough. That's it for me. You know, I'm done. You know, after you get maybe not treated as good as some of the others, I'll say. But anyway, I've always been one of those type people. When I worked, I never missed. I went for years, never missed a day of work. Go in sick, whatever, never missed a day of work. I have never, ever been late for work. Never. I'd always get there, you know, 30, 45 minutes early. Some of y'all might be thinking, why do you do that? Well, there's been a lot of times, you know, I've been pulled over going to work by the police. You know, hey, you got a taillight out, or you just have to know some of the law enforcement around here. But it's just kind of, what I'm trying to say is I've tried to keep a good work ethic. You know, I was always there, always on time, and pretty much tried to do the best I could, you know, with whatever job I had. But anyway, I just want to tell you that little story about me fighting with my uncle. I hate that happened. I truly do. It's not the way I am. But I was wanting to tell you, I don't think my uncle that I used to fight with, I don't think he ever got a whipping in his life. So I'm grateful for my dad giving me a whippings, you know, because it's who I am today. I mean, there's no telling what I might have become if I would have kept getting away with things. Like I think, well, I just hush right there. But anyway, appreciate you listening to this video. If you enjoyed it, I hope you did. And, you know, just leave me a comment, let me know you did. If you like more stories, I got more stories. And some of it, you know, like this one might have been a little bit too personal. I don't know how y'all take things, but I'm just telling you what happened to me. It's all truth. So hope you enjoyed it. Y'all have a great day. You're watching Primer is Best. If you'd like to subscribe, I'd appreciate it. I'm on Instagram, Primer is Best. Facebook, Primer is Best. And I'm also got a second YouTube channel called Man on a Budget. I'm going to try to get back on that. Man on a Budget. I'm on Instagram, Man on a Budget 1. So if you'd like to subscribe, I'd appreciate it. Let me know if you like this kind of telling the story or whatever kind of stuff. Just let me know in the comments. Y'all have a blessed day. I appreciate y'all listening to me, and I'll catch you in the next one. I'll see y'all later.